Good everyone, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to another special moment of Microsoft Excel by UrBizEdge. So for today's section, we'll be talking about creating a project management chart, Gantt charts in Excel. So this section was brought to you by UrBizEdge. So who is UrBizEdge? UrBizEdge is a registered Microsoft Excel consulting, financial modeling, business intelligence, data analysis, and enterprise firm solution in Nigeria. We specialize in helping company and high-value professional be on top of the data skill, day-to-day activity. So we're also a training company ourselves. So this is the calendar of our upcoming training. So from the 7th to 10th of February, which is starting by tomorrow, we have financial modeling, financial planning training. From the 15th to 16th of February, we have Python for data analysis. From the 18th to 19th of this same February, we have in-depth Excel training, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. So I'll just tell you brief about the speaker today, which is myself, Temidayo Omoniyi. I'm a Microsoft Certified Data Analyst Associate who specializes in data analysis, business intelligence, data science with over 2 years combined experience. I'm an MCT, that's Microsoft Certified Trainer, who is passionate about sharing knowledge, helping and mentoring young data analysts. I've developed custom solutions for Microsoft in Microsoft Office. I enjoy creating educative content on UrBizEdge YouTube channel and other platforms. I enjoy writing code and automating different business processes using Microsoft Power Platform. So with no further ado, I'll go to the section now for today's class. So for everyone, I shared a before everyone came, I shared a link to what we'll be using today. So I'll just drop it again. So it's a link, so you can download the form. So this is the practice file I'll be using today. So I've shared it with everyone. So I will start right about now. So I'm going to my desktop. I won't get the document I'll be using for today's section. Okay, let's press now. Okay. So we're creating a Gantt chart in Excel. Okay. So I've shared this with everyone. So you guys tell me if you have access to the file already. So I've shared this with everyone on the group, on the chat box. So just tell me if you have access to the file. So let's start by saying, okay, what is a Gantt chart? Gantt chart are a series of horizontal lines that shows the amount of work being done or production completed in a certain period of time in relation to the amount being planned. So most times, Gantt charts are usually used by mostly project managers in different organizations to track projects that are planning on doing or articles that they do plan doing. A Gantt chart are commonly used in project management. It's one of the most popular and used ways of showing activities, tasks, and displaying them against time. So usually our Gantt chart, it usually comes with 4 major components, which is the start date, the end date, the duration, and the content. That's the task you want to do. So I'll be giving a little brief history about Gantt chart itself. So Gantt chart started by a Polish engineer by the name Carlos Adamecki. He is actually an engineer in South Poland. He was more interested in managing some of his ideas and techniques. So he had to create a Gantt chart from that. So this is a live example of a Gantt chart. So I'll just click on the link here to take me to where you can see different templates of Gantt chart. Let me just keep verification. So this is Smart Sheet, right? It's an online site where you can download different kind of Excel Gantt chart templates. So if you scroll down, you see different kind of Gantt charts. We have a simple Gantt chart template. So you can always download it. They're usually free. As if you don't want to build a Gantt chart from scratch, you can always download it online. There are different ones. You can see how to build a Gantt chart, how to determine the type of Gantt chart you want to use. So there are different, but there are some that are usually paid for. So it's not everything that is free. So you can always there's some that are paid for, there's some that are actually free itself. So you can see different kind of Gantt chart template. You can see different type. So you can just come to the link. So let me just copy the link and paste it to everyone in the group. So you can just also download it yourself. So let me say link to Gantt chart. So template. Everyone, you can always come here and download your Gantt chart whatever Gantt chart you want to use. So there are different kind of Gantt chart. We have the free ones, we have the demo, different one, but there are some that are actually high value Gantt charts. So most times you might have to pay. It might give you a free trial, but this is a to-do list kind of Gantt chart. Different ones. So let's go back to the Excel sheet. So these are the different. This is just an example of a Gantt chart. So this is a component of a Gantt chart. So Gantt chart are one of the most used tools by project management. It has been found to save countless number of time that would have been spent trying to track different projects. So it basically saves you a lot of time that you'd have spent. I've been in situations where I'm doing a project. I've given myself a certain number of period of time that I have to complete that project. Most times I tend to lose track of time because of I don't have something that is actually monitoring my progress track. So with Gantt chart, you're able to monitor your progress. You're able to monitor, oh, this is my activity, this is what I'm doing. So you're able to monitor whatever you're doing with a Gantt chart. So these are the various components of a Gantt chart. So I told you the first thing is usually your task. So that's the task name. So usually this is when you list out all the tasks you plan doing. If you plan building an app, you plan, I don't know, whatever you plan doing, building an app, talking to clients, attending to clients, certain meetings or different things you plan doing. So most times you just start with the task name. Also, you have to have a start date. So we all know that whatever project we do, it usually have a start date and an end date. So the start date is usually when you start the project itself. So that's your start date. The next thing we have is your end date. Yeah, definitely. So your end date is like when the project is going to end. That's when you have your end date. So whatever has a start and definitely going to have an ending. So if you have a project you're planning on starting at a certain period of time, since it has a start date, definitely it's going to have an end date itself. So the next thing is your duration. So duration is usually gotten by subtracting both the end date and the start date. So you're just basically trying to compare where you started this project and where you're ending it. So you're comparing the date difference, the number of days between your start date and your end date. So that's what duration is all about. So usually there are two types of Gantt chart we have. Let me scroll a little bit down. We usually have two kinds of Gantt chart which are very popular. We have the desktop Gantt chart and we have the online Gantt chart. So I'll just give a brief explanation about it. So the two differences. So for the desktop Gantt chart, these are software usually suited for one manager who likes to plan his project individually without the need of easily sharing with project with any members or stakeholders. So basically the idea of this is that the desktop Gantt chart are usually used by a single project manager. In this kind of situation, the project manager doesn't want to share, he doesn't want to share the progress or what he's doing with any other body in the organization. He doesn't want to do it alone. So this is the situation where things like this come to play. Okay, I'm a single project manager. I want to work on a project. I'm not ready to share the project with anyone or have access to. You don't want them to track the project. So that's why you have like a desktop Gantt chart, and they're usually found in Excel, Microsoft Excel, or Microsoft Word. I've seen Gantt charts in Microsoft Word, but those ones are usually more complicated, or most times you want to embed what you have in your Excel in your Microsoft Word, anyone you prefer doing. So most times usually popular in Microsoft Excel. The one I showed you, the link I showed you now, when you download most of these Gantt charts, they go straight into Microsoft Excel. So these are usually Microsoft Excel kind of Gantt chart. But I think with the Microsoft Online now, they've made it easy to collaborate and other cool features. So also have the online Gantt chart. So this one is project management or Gantt chart software supports ease of sharing and collaborative project planning. So this is where you want to like collaborate with different people in your organization. Oh, okay, I did this certain number of tasks, you did this certain number of tasks. So with the online Gantt chart, it makes it easy for you to collaborate. So let me just click on this icon. It's going to take me to a link where you see how the online Gantt chart works. Okay. Just open the link. So this site is called projectmanager.com. So I'll paste the link also to everyone in the group. So if you're someone who want to do like a collaborative Gantt chart or collaborative work, and you have different guys in your team, maybe you have like a software developer, you have the DevOps developer, you have the data analyst, you have the data engineer. So you guys are like working in a team. You can give yourself, or you guys are trying to build a complete project from scratch. You can give yourself time that okay, at this certain period of time, so let me use the link. Let's say link. So project manager site. But if you're someone that, okay, if you're someone that, okay, you guys collaborate, you're a group of people, you're trying to build a prototype for a project, and you guys are like a different people in your team. You have the software developers, you have the data analysts, you have the data engineer in your team, and you guys are trying to work as a team. So with the with the Gantt Chart online, you guys are able to complete that. You guys are able to work as a team and complete that. So let me just close my Telegram. Okay, you guys are able to complete that fast and easily. So with no further ado, let me just go to my Excel back and let's now say, so what are Gantt charts? What are they used for by project manager? Okay. So number one, they are used to plan and schedule projects. So I said it, if you are someone that like you have a team, you're trying to like create something, you're trying to like, you have multiple people in your team, like you have a complete team, you're trying to create a project. So you guys can easily schedule your project. Oh, at this time, I want so the data analyst to clean the data. I want the data engineer to create like a data lake where he does this EDL, that's extract, transform, and load. I want the software developer to build an app around the data set itself and build custom APIs that can connect between the database and the end users, different ways. So you plan and schedule your project. So number two, also you can also plan and schedule your tasks using the Gantt chart. Number three, you can plan and schedule tasks across multiple projects. That's where it's more, this scenario is more suitable when you're doing using the Gantt chart online. Okay, so you can view your tasks over time, plan in sprint. That's if you're doing like a sprint amount of projects, you're doing multiple projects at once. So you can always plan in sprint. You can also have team collaboration also. That's one thing that is actually that's allowed in the Gantt chart online. So let's now start. Let's create our own Gantt chart from scratch. So I'll click on this link. So we're going to be doing two kind of Gantt charts. We're going to do something simple. This is a simple Gantt chart, and we'll do something a little bit more complex a bit. So we're going to be doing two Gantt charts. So we're going to be doing this and this. So I'm going to be doing two Gantt charts. So the first thing I need to do, I will just create a new sheet. So I'll be doing it from scratch. Let's say I just name this webinar Gantt chart. Right? What I was need to do, let me just copy this. So I'll just copy this. I just need only this. So I'll paste this here. I will make it bigger. Remember, I said that the components of a Gantt chart, we need the text. We need the text. This is the text over here. We need the text. This is the text. We need the text. We need the start date. And we need what? An end date. So these are usually the three main components in Gantt chart. We need this. That's the text. That's most time we call it the content. We need the start date. Also need what? The end date. These are the three major components of a Gantt chart. So let me just delete this. So I have my start, I have my end date. So I want to know my duration. Let me just name this duration now. Duration. Create a simple Gantt chart now. So I have my I want to know my duration. Basically is the difference between what? The end date and the start date. So you can usually use equals to end date minus what? Start date. You press enter and you can drag down. That's all. But I don't want to use this. This is looking really easy. Let's use there's a function they call the date dev. So the date div is usually you use date div to compare between start dates and end dates. One cool features about the date div function is that it also has the day. You can get the date difference between days. You can get date difference between months. So you can get the month difference. I can also get year difference. So I'll be using the date div for this function. So I say equals to date div. So date div brackets. So date div has three conditions. It has the start date, the end date, and the date format. So I'll say the start date is this, yeah, that's C4, comma. The end date is what? This, that's D4, comma. So it's asking me now the last condition is your format. So the format I want to write, so I put my double quote D, double quote close. So this stands for days. So that's why I put D. If I put M stands for month, Y stands for what? Years. So I press enter. You can see the same thing still came out. I just drag down. You can see the same thing came out. Let me show what I mean. I press equals to end date minus what? Start date, enter. You can see they are still the same thing. But the cool feature is I always prefer using a date because date div has other category because it can also give you months. Let's say if I want to get the month difference, I say equals to date div bracket start date, comma, end date, comma, double quotes my month. So I want to know the months difference now. You can see it's telling me that it's 13 months. What's difference? 13 months, 12 months, 7, 6. Let's say if I want to know the year also. Let me just copy this formula. Copy this. Paste it here. I'll change this one here to what? Y. As it's telling me 1 year. Let's see. 1 year 0, 0, 0. Because this one is not up to 1 year. This is just 7 months. This is just 6 months. You can see how cool it did. Let's say months. Sorry. This one should be year. Different. So that's how cool the date div function works. So for most of it, I don't know about the date div. That's how cool it is. It just gives you more flexibility. I can choose I want to get either the month, the year, or other features. So that's about that. So let's now create our Gantt chart now from scratch. So first thing you need to do, you have to select everything from start date. You select down. After selected down, I just go to my insert. Insert. So I'm inserting now a bar chart. That's we call it more of an horizontal bar chart, but I'm not using a cluster bar chart. I'll be using a stack bar chart. So I click on OK. I select my stack bar chart, right? I expand it a little bit. You can see this, right? So the next thing I will do, I'll go to my chart design. Because I've not selected the duration, I've also selected now. This thing does not have content. If you see the horizontal axis, just showing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want it to be showing content, app, client, community, personal, right? So what I need to do now is go to my when you click on the chart, the bar chart, you go to what? Chart design, you go to what? Select data. So let's now start. So I want to select now. I want to select my horizontal. Something like this will pop out. It says select data source. So I want to select now. I want to select my horizontal axis. That's my category axis. I click on edit. You can see now it's showing what axis length range, right? So I go to content down. So I set it from content down, right? And I click on what? OK. I can see that it has popped out, right? Also, I want my my duration to also show. What I need to do now is to click on add. I'll add another one. It's asking now for the series name. I select what? Duration, right? The series value, I close all of this. I delete all of this. I select everything from this, Ctrl Shift down. I click on what? OK. Then I click on what? OK. So you can see now, the duration now is out. You can see how cool this is, right? So what I need to do next, I need to also select. It's showing me both in orange and blue, right? So this is actually what I need. I don't need the blue. So I have to just click on the blue chart, right? I right click. I go to format data series. Go to format data series. For the fill, I don't go to the paint. You can see this bucket sign, this fill and line, right? I go to what? No fill. It's going to be showing me like a blank. Now those blues are now blank. Let me see if there's any question in the chat so far. Oh, okay. If you don't have the function, you can use the end date. You can say equals to end date minus start date. Yeah, you can also use end date minus start date. I'm not using the date there because it's a very cool function. It has more functionalities and everything. So after this, what I need to do now is I will select the column. That's the horizontal column, right? That's the labels, the personal, community, client, apps. I right click. I go to what? Format chart area. Okay. Wait one moment. Open just again. Format axis. Yeah. I go to format axis. So I'll scroll to the axis sign here. You can see axis option here, right? I'll look for axis position. I'll scroll down. I'll see. You can see this pivot categories in reverse order. So I want it to be in a reverse order. So I'll click. I'll check it. Check it. So to be a reverse order now. That's step one. I'm not done yet. So now it's showing in reverse order, right? What I need to do next is let's make it a little bit more beautiful. Let us add some beauty to it. Let me just delete all the exit line. I'll change this here, the labels. I'll change the labels to I'll make the color a little bit green because I remember that like my company's color, UrBizEdge green. I'll make it bold a little bit. I'll do the same thing for the line series. So I'll take this. I'll just go to paint format. I'll paste it here. You can see, right? I'll change the color over here. I'll select this. I'll right click. I'll change the fill to something green. No, I'll have to select all. I want everything to be selected. Sorry. So selected all. Right click. I'll change the fill to something a little bit green. So it represents more of the company's color. Okay. So let me say. Okay. Let me now add chart title. Let me add the chart. Let us name it tax. So this is just a simple kind of Gantt chart. Let's make it a little bit more cool. I don't know if let's do a little bit more of infographics to this, right? So let's now add a little bit of icons to this. Let's go to insert. But I don't know if everyone has this insert options. Yeah, so you go to insert, you go to illustration, you will get icons. So Microsoft has its own icon. I don't know if it's available for everyone, but it's available for people using Office 365. So click on icons. So this will load. It take a little bit of time. Okay. So let me just look for different. You can see it has different icons. That's one cool thing about Microsoft Excel. So let us say tax. Let's see if I have anything like tax. Okay. Let me use this. This one looks fair enough. I like this. Let me use this. So insert it. And that's inserted, right? So I'll do a little bit of infographics now. So let's just shift a little bit to the right. So okay, let me make this final. Let me go to my view. I'll remove grid line. Let me just remove my grid line so it looks a little bit more okay. So I'll take the insert option. Let me make this let me change the color. So I select this. I go to my graphics format. You can see my graphics view. I'll make it green, a little bit green. I want it to go with all the colors, so I'll make it green. You can see this, right? So I select one of the axes. I can select one of the axes now, right? I go back to this. I press, because I selected the icon here, right? I press Ctrl C. That's copy. I select one of the axes here. That's the duration axis, and I click what Ctrl V. I paste it inside here. That's all. That's all. But this is not cool. This is not cool enough. This is not all. So I've pasted it here, right? It's just showing it in a stack. So what I need to do, I select back this same axis. I go to my fill sign. That's my fill and line. So from the fill area, I'll go to the border. I'll go to the fill area. You can see it's showing a stretch. I'll change it to what? Stack. So it's going to be like a stack. Oh, I meant to do it for all. So I'll change it to go to my paint sign. I'll change to what? Stack. So now all are in stack now. But this is too light. Let's make it a little bit dark. Let me just change the fill to something darker. Copy this. Paste it. So you can see this, right? This is just how Gantt chart works. So now what is just telling you? It's telling you, okay, let me just move this a little bit here. So what is our Gantt chart? Just tell okay, let me not do with the axis now. So if I come here now, let me compare. Let me set the axis range now. I have my maximum date. Let me just get 2 days. So I say equals to, that's the minimum year, the minimum day, and let me get the maximum date. That's the end date maximum year. So I'll make this a number format. So I'll select both. I'll change it to what? General. Now it's in general, right? I'll select the axis. That's the time, the axis range, the time. I'll right click. I'll go to format axis. You can see it's showing minimum and maximum, right? So I change the minimum to what? That's the minimum value that I see. That's what? 43866. For the maximum, I'll also change it to what? 44287. I click on enter. You can see now the thing is changing, right? And this just changed, making it more dynamic. So you can tell you that okay, you can see the content. The content is actually the highest because it has the highest number of days. That's the duration of what? 420 and 424 days, followed by up. This up is that's 365. That's actually a year. Followed by client then community work, then personal. So these are basically how a simple Gantt chart is. So let's now do something a little bit more complex, something a little bit more, because now this is just like, what about a scenario where you have both, you have planned for something and it's not actually starting that same time you planned for. So let's now look at something more, a little bit more complex. So let's go on to this. You can see this here, right? This one now has to do with data validation now. So we have the plan, we also have the actual. So let's say we created what a plan that we're going to start this project at so time, but in actual view, we didn't start it at that same time. There is a little bit of difference. So let's say we have the planned, we also have the actual. You can see now the chart is being dynamic, it's changing itself. That's the idea behind it. So it's changing itself. So that's how the, so let's now do this together. So let's say I'll take the from the tags, all of this. I'll go to new. I'll remove the grid line. So I'll go to view, remove grid line. So I'll just paste this. I'll paste this, right? So let's start to get the, now near the former one, we're getting the duration. So about a situation where we have the start date, we have the duration. We want to now know the end date. So let's say one of the end date. The end date, right? So you can use the function called workdays. So if I say equals to workday, so workday has what? It has the start date, the days, and the holidays. So holidays are usually optional. If you say anything that has a square bracket beneath it, it means it's optional. It's not really compulsory. So I'll say my start date is what? This is my start date, right? Comma. My number of, that's my number of days. That's my duration. I say this, and I close my words. I close my brackets because of I meant to put holiday, but holiday is optional because holidays also take both your holidays and your weekends. So it's also it also avoids using the weekend. But since I don't have that calendar with me right now, so I'll just use only these two. Close my bracket, press enter, I drag down. So it show me in general formats now. Show me in general formats. So I have to change this to short dates. I select all. I go to home. I go to, from general. I change my general to what? Short date. So this is cool. So let me just name this plan. So this I planned for this. So this is what I planned for, right? But what about a situation where if this didn't even work out as you planned now? Yeah, so let's copy all of this again. Let's now paste this over here. I will drag this a little bit. So let's name, okay, this is not actually, it's not an actual scenario. Now this is an actual scenario where the thing didn't now go as planned. Okay, I was expecting to spend like 7 days. I'm actually spending like 12 here. I'm spending like let's say 20 days here. I'm spending 15 days here. I'm spending 21 days here. I'm spending 30 days here. I'm also spending like 20, or let me say 15 days here. And I started in different days. And I say this one is starting on day 4. This one is starting like on the 20th. That's on the 20th. This one is starting like on the, okay, this one is starting like on the 7th. Oh, sorry, 7th, not 71. 7th. This is starting on the 20th. Let's say 20th for this. And let's say, let's leave it like that. And let's say this one is starting like on the 9th. Okay, that's cool. So let's not get this. Is not the actual. This is the actual serial now. You know, most of the time when you plan something, it doesn't go the way you plan it for, right? So let's not say end dates. End dates. Check. I'm seeing like, is there any message so far? Okay, end date. So if I say for the end date now, let me say equals to, let me say work day. You have different work. You have work day. They have work day international. Are different ones, but I will just use the normal work day. So work day, I told you, it has 3 conditions: the start date, the days, and the holidays. So holidays are like holidays, like if it's Christmas, you don't work on Christmas. You don't work on some certain Muslim days. So what I was meant to do, I was meant to get a calendar for all the holidays. But the problem about this is that this is a data set of 2000, and this is like a calendar for 2020. So I have to go back to 2020 and get a day holidays for 2020. But apart from that, let's just ignore the holidays. But usually the holidays are usually optional. So if you have a square bracket, it means it's optional. Let's say the start date. This is start date, right? Comma. The days is, these are the number of days here, right? Then I also close my bracket. I press enter. Then I also do what? I drag down. Then I do what? I select all of these. I go to home. From general, I change my general. I change to short date. Cool, right? Showing it short. And I can see that they're not even the same. This one is ending on the what 11th. This one is ending on the 20th. You can see now the difference. But let's not say, okay, now let's not say this should not be the actual. Let's say the date. The date difference. Let's name this date difference. So what's the situation where I'm going to have like two conditions now? Now I have the plan, I have the what? Actual, right? I want a situation where I can use both the plan, I can switch both between the plan and the actual. Let's not say let's name this chart option here. Chart option, right? So I'll do like a data validation. I'm sure most of you here know what they call data validation. So data validation is just basically more like preventing one from putting the wrong information inside a cell or a column. So we use data validation to prevent people from putting the wrong information. So let's say I select this empty cell here. I go to data. I go to my data validation. I change from allow. I change it to list. So my list. So I'll just put it. I'll just write it. I'll say the first one. I'll write plan, comma. Plan, comma, and the next one should be actual. So that's actual, and that's all. So you have my plan, I also have my what actual. So I can't put, and if I put no, it won't work. That's the cool stuff about data validation. It prevents one from putting wrong information in cells or column. So let me just paint it a little bit. Let me add a little bit of design. Let me just make this a table. So I'll make this a table, table, ticker table. I'll make this, I'll add a little bit of color to this. Okay, that's fair for now. So let's now say we'll have a situation where we have both I have the start date here. Let's say start now. Start. So I have my duration, right? So let's say, so this time we're going to be using the switch. Let's use the switch. You can use the if function as switch. So let's say I'm going to be using a switch because I think switch is not a new dynamic kind of function. So I'm trying to learn how to use switch more. So I'm using the switch for it, but you can also use if for this. So if and switch, they basically do the same thing, just different in arrangement, but they basically do the same thing. They mean the same function. So I say switch. Let's switch what? Switch this, comma. There's having value. If the value is what? If the value is what? If its value is actual. If the value is actual. If the value is actual. So not actual. I put a double quote because it's going to be text, it's strings. I'm about to put a double quote. If it's actual, it should give me what? It should give me the start date here, comma. Else it should give me what? The start date here. So if it sorry, I made a mistake. If it is actual, or if it is actual, it's meant to start from. Let me just make this on planned. Let me change on to planned. But it was actual, I'll start from the other place. Let's say if it is planned, but it doesn't mean sure. But if it is planned, then it starts from C4. Else it's going to start from what? J4 is the actual itself. So I press enter, and I just do what? I just drag it down a little bit. And that's all. So I change this to short date. Make it a short date. Cool. So let's check what I'm trying to achieve now. If I change this now to planned, I see it's changing. It's changing. There's a mistake somewhere. The other one is changing. Do you know why? I didn't create an absolute reference for these. So I'm going to create an absolute reference for these. So I select my C14, I press F4, I press enter. So now this will work now. So let me just drag down again. So let me change this now. I just noticed that everything wasn't changing. Now it's changing. That's cool. Now it's changing. This is better. Now everything is changing. That's cool. So that's just step one. So what about the duration now? The duration matters, right? So let's say we use the same switch function again. So if I say switch, the expression now does if planned. So let me just create an absolute reference. So I lock it. I press my F4. I've locked it, right? If this comma, the value is what? If it is what planned. If it is planned, it should give me what? I want it to give me the difference between what? The start date and the end. So what I will just use, the date diff. Well, you can use this. You can use end date minus start date. But I want to use the date diff. So I'll say if this is equals to plan, give me what? Date diff. My bracket. That's start date, comma, end date, comma, double quotes, give me in days, close bracket, comma, else it should also be what, another date, div, bracket, it should be what, start date here, comma, the end date here, comma, double quotes, D, double close my bracket, then I just press enter. Yeah, cool. So most of you might notice that it's not actually the same. Do you know why it's not the same? Because I didn't consider the holiday. So for the work day function is going to consider weekend. So that's why it's not actually the same. But next time, if I was going to do this, I would have structured the holidays very well. But because this is just a training process, so next time if you are doing the work day function, make sure you have your holidays. So maybe what I would have done next time, I would have gone online. Let me say I will go to Google. I would have said, sorry, I would have gone to Google. I would have said holidays, holiday Nigeria for 2020 calendar, right? Calendar. So it just give me, you can see this, you can see the calendar here, right? I'll just like what I would have done, I'll just copy this entire holiday. Again, but due to time and everything, so I was actually considering time and everything, so that's why I didn't go through this step. I'd have just copied this, I'd have gone to my Excel, I'd have gone to data, I'd have gotten data from the web, and so on and so forth. But due to time and everything, so I don't want to really go through that stress. So let's just cancel this. But next time, this is what you would have done. You'd have gone online, gotten all the holidays. You now like, so when you're selecting your holidays, now you now select the holiday dates for that holiday part. That one that is optional. When you write work days, you can see you know your start date, you know the number of days you want. So the holidays will now be the holidays you have gotten online. But let's just move on due to time and everything. So now I can see that if I put it at plan, it's meant to be showing what 7 here, but it's showing what 10. Because of this one now, it is not this one here is considering what weekends. This one here is not considering weekends at all. So the date div is not considering weekend. That's the reason why it is not the same at the moment. So I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. So if I change to actual, you can see the actual here is showing 12. This one here is showing 16. It's this one here is considering what? It's considering both the weekends and everything. So let's just move forward. So after that, let's now create our Gantt chart from this now. So the first thing you need to do now, select the start date, right? You go to insert, you go to you're inserting a bar chart, right? So we call it horizontal chart. So you click on the bar chart. This is the bar chart here, right? The next thing, you select this. We have to add the duration to this. So you select this. You go to your chart design the same way we did the first time. You go to your chart design, right? You select data. For your horizontal axis label, you select this. You select all the tags here. Select Ctrl Shift down. Press OK. So you can see it's showing article, personal, community, license, app, content, right? So the next thing again, you click on add. So the next one I want to add now my duration, right? So the duration, the name will be what? The serial name will be what? Duration, yeah. You change the serial value to what? Like you set the entire duration that is down here. And that's then click on what? Okay. Okay. I know why. Do you know why I showing like this? I think I used cluster. I didn't use stack. Let me just change the chart. Let me change the chart to stack. To change chart to cluster. So it should have been stack, but I was using cluster. Let me change to cluster. Even okay. Now voila. And it has come out the way I wanted it to come out. So the next thing now is for me to just make this. Let me just fill it with no fill. I'll fill this with no fill, right? I'll select this. I have to make it a reverse. I have to reverse the content. So I select this. I right click. I go to format area. I go to categorize in a reverse order. As in a reverse order, right? So let me just beautify this a little bit. Let me go to home. Let me change the text to plain. Let me make it bold a little bit. Let me increase the size to 10. 10 is okay. Let me select this. I'll go to format painter. I'll paste the format painter over here. The dates is not well arranged. So what I need to do now is I'll get the maximum and minimum dates. Let me just say, let me get the maximum dates here. Let's say the maximum. Let's get maximum, and I'll say minimum, right? So I'll say the maximum, the minimum. Okay, I'll make the minimum. Let's say the minimum should be this. So the minimum of this, and the maximum, and the maximum should be the maximum of this one over here. So you can see, right? So I'll change this to a general. Sorry, just cut this a bit. So I'll do nice this. I change the type to general. So to give me like in the way Excel writes number, right? So I change it to number formats, right? So I select this. I go to my format axis, right? So you can see the axis option over here. I'm going to change this to from the minimum. I'll use the minimum as 4,309 for 3,908. My maximum will be 43,000. That's interesting. But 3,800. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Sorry. Let's say minimum should be 43,862. While the maximum should be 3,980. So voila. So let me just remove the line. Let me make my chart title a little bit dynamic. So let me come here now. Let me say equals to Gantt Chart, right? Let me make it a formula so to make sense. No, sorry. This is a formula. It has to be a text. It has to be a lot of double quotes. So double quote Gantt Charts double quotes. That's concatenate. I'm using the and sign, right? Space, put the concatenate sign again. Then I select this, right? I put another concatenate, double quote, space, concatenate, Gantt chart. Let's say for project, Gantt chart projects, management. Let's say management. Actually, project. Oh, sorry. I want to close. Yeah, okay. I think it helped me already. I was going to put a double quote at the end. So that was one. So I'm trying to make this chart dynamic. So if I select the chart, I go to add column. That's chart axis, right? I'm going to change my chart axis over here. I'm going to make it equals to what? Let me just do it from here. I say this. I go to equals to what? This here. Now you can see now this is dynamic. Now it's showing what Gantt charts planned for project management. So if I change this now for actual, I see that it has changed to actual. Now it is planned. Now it is actual. You can see now it is your chart title now is becoming more dynamic. That's the idea behind it. It's becoming more dynamic, more sophisticated. So the next thing is I'm trying to make it more of an infographic. So let me just paint this. Let me make this a little bit, add a little bit of design. Let me set text green. Let me make it bold a little bit. Let me increase. Okay, size enough. Size okay. Let me make this green. Let me fill with green. Let's make it take a green. It's okay, sure. Let's make it take a green. So let me move this. The chart. Let me move it to the left-hand side. Let me move it to the left-hand side. So the beauty about this one now is that I have both categories now. I have both the planned, like when I want to start my task, I have both the planned, I have both the actual. Check if people are still in the okay. I have both the planned, I have both the actual. So let's now make it a little bit more infographics, right? So let me copy this sign I added here the other time. So let me say, webinar, okay, let me just copy this sign. Where's the project management sign? Okay, this one, copy this. Let me paste it like a character, something like a character. Can I move this? Can I move it? Okay, I can move it, okay. So let's put it like a project management. some sign. Let me change the column. Also, you can also add your percentage of work completed, but due to time and everything, I'll just tell you about that. But let me now add like a little bit of infographics. Let me add icons to it. Let me go to my inserts. I will go to illustration. Where's my illustration? I'll go to icons. Sorry, icons. Icons. I'll select. I'll look for. What's that project first? Let's see if I went like projects. Okay, you have something like projects. Which one shall I use for project? Let me use this. This looks nicer. So insert this for projects. Okay, let's go to insert. Let me else not exactly this one icon. Let me say project. Let me look for project again. Projects. Let me use this time around. Okay, I have different people in my project team. And the cool thing about Excel icons is that you can always change the column. It's not like other shapes, like you print shape, you can't change. It's more like a vector image you get, so you can always change the colors and everything. So let me just make it green. Because I have to make it green a little bit. So what I have to do now, I want to copy, I want to take this shape and put it inside here, right? So I just come here, I copy this, make it thicker green so it will be more visible. So that's cool. So I just copy this, I come here, I paste it over here. So still it is still being held, right? So I go to my paint sign over, which is over here. I go to my stack. I see my stack, right? Go to my stack. It is not bold enough though. But I go to my stack, right? And that's the cool thing about it. Like it just gives you this infographics ability. Like so now the cool thing now is that it's now more dynamic now. I have both the plan, I also have the what actual. So you can now switch between plan and actual. Like, oh, we planned this project at so time, but it's actually starting at what so time. You can see how dynamic this is, right? So you can also add, let me see if I can add, let's say, should I add my data label? No, it will be cool. It will be cool. I still want to add my data label. See where center now, inside no. Nope. Okay, I think something like this shoes okay. I don't know. Just move it to the front a little bit. It's not showing. I'll move everything to the front. Okay. See this. Move this to the front. Move this to the front. Then move this. Select this and move it to the front. Move this. Move this to the front. Move to the back a little bit. Because I can't move to the front, I'll go to the back. So I'll move this to the back. So let me see if I can change the text color. Let me make this green. Let me select this also. Let me make it green, bold. Green, bold and green. Okay. Let me see if I can just change the paste format. So I won't waste time. Oh, that's cool. I can even paste format. That's interesting. I didn't know. That's nice. The paste format just saves me a lot of time that I would have spent doing other things. So that's the cool thing about Gantt Chart. Now, if you're someone that okay, you want to add like let's say for instance that you want to add this is just showing the duration. What about in situation where it has like the date completed against add like the amount of days completed. Let's just say due to time, I don't know. I'm looking at time. I have to like start doing dates completed. But with this, you can just know this is how you build a Gantt chart, like a custom Gantt charts. Like now, situations where I say, okay, I have both my planned date and my actual. So this is the plan. This was what I was planning. This was what I was aiming for. I was going to spend just 10 days with my clients. for the app, I was going to spend 21 days. For the client, I was going to spend, oh, sorry, for content, I was going to spend 10 days. For my client, I was going to spend 9 days. For community, I was going to spend 23 days. For personal, 21. For articles, 11. But and that's what I planned. But in actual sense, this is what actually happened at the long run. In the long run, I spent 21 days in content. I was going to spend 28 days in app, 16 days in content. For my clients, I was going to spend 21 days. For community work, I was going to spend 19 days. For personal, I was going to spend 49 days. And for articles writing, I was going to spend like 20 days. So I think we're good. So I think that's all for today. So, but for those that want to like know how to like add, what about a situation where you have like, okay, you want to add percentage completed, right? You'd have just come here, you'd have added the error bar. But this one's like going to be like a longer process. That's why I don't want to really spend time on this. So I think that was all. So any questions so far? So someone's asking about the date div. So the date div, is more like you're comparing between 2 days. You're comparing between 2 days. You're comparing between 2 days. Let's say it has two for you. Say, let's say date div, right? So open bracket. The first one is your start. That's start date. This one is your end date. Then comma. So the last one will be your format. The format is like, how do you want it to be? Do you want it to be a year format? So if it is going to be year, you put a double quote Y. That double quote Y stands for years. It is double quote M. It stands for months. So let me just check it online. Let me just send it for you guys so you see that. Let me say, let me go to Google. I go Google. I say date div function in Excel. Date function in Excel. So you can check different things on Google and see how you can use the date div function in Excel. So you can see now Y stands for, this is the format, that's the unit return. So I can just copy this link and paste it to the chat box so you guys can like about date div function in Excel. Date. So I think that's cool. So for the material, I said it in the beginning, I pasted the material. I'm going to copy the link to the material. I'll paste it also here again. So if there's any question, so if I can put your question at the chat box, I'll stop sharing my screen now. I'll stop sharing my screen now. And if you want to speak, I can always unmute you. You can raise up your hands, I can unmute you. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. So any questions so far? If you have any question, you can put it in the chat box. Any questions so far? So I'll send everyone the feedback form. Oh, it's like there's no question. There's no question. Is it that date div function? Most times, and the thing is that date div actually it might even be on your system. You might not see because according to Microsoft, they were like they have some issues with it, so they don't make it like a function like that is visible. So if I type like my date div, so any question, any suggestion, you can always put on the chat box over here. So I'll send you the link to your UrBizEdge YouTube website. So if you have, okay, I think someone's hands up. Ayodeji. Okay, let me try and promote you as a speaker. Ayodeji, just 1 minute. Okay. So Ayodeji, you can mute yourself and speak now.
Okay. Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, sorry, for some reason I didn't have access. I don't have access to the chat. I don't know if I'm the only one, and I don't know what that is, because I really wanted the links that you shared so that I could make reference to them. Yes,
okay,
please.
So can you send like a message to webinar@yourbizedge.com? So I'll write it webinar, that's WEBINAR, webinar@yourbizedge.com.
Okay, so I'm basically asking for the links you shared.
Okay, yeah. So just message us on the links. I will send you the link. Since you don't have access to the chat itself, just go to webinar@yourbizedge. Just send us a chat over there.
An email, right?
Just ask for the link. Yeah, it's an email. Yeah, just send us an email. Webinar@yourbizedge.com. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
So is that all? Apart from that, is that all? Is that all? No question. Any questions so far? Okay, let me share. So I'll be sharing the next section. Our next session will be by 6. And we're having a special guest that's going to be taking us on paginated reports. That's actually very, very cool stuff in Power BI right now. For those that are into SQL, it's a very big deal. So let me just a second. So I'll share the link to the next section. So we're working with paginated report to create using Power BI database. So I'll send the link now. So the next session will be by 12. Okay, Ezekiel said lobby section. Thanks for the class, though it was fast paced. We'll try to learn on my own. Okay, the thing is that the videos also are going to be available. So I'll send you the YouTube channel. So the session, what happens is that the webinar is usually a 1 hour section. So I can't really take much time. So after 1 hour, I have to like end the section. So for Ibrahim Raji, I'll send you the link so you can watch the next section. So you can always download the videos on YouTube. So the videos will be made available by this time tomorrow. Definitely will be made available. So Ezekiel, up no other question. Ezekiel, Raji. So the next session we'll be having a special guest that will be taking us on Power BI. So it's going to be taking us working with paginated reports using Power BI database. He's a very top guy in India, and it's going to take us a very cool section. So I'll be expecting you guys by 6 p.m. So thanks, guys, and thank you very much. Have a lovely week ahead. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.